I remember the last voicemail. It was only 7 seconds long. It wasn't urgent, just his usual gentle tone. "Hey, son, call me back when you get a minute." I listened to it on the drive to the airport, mentally drafting the dozens of emails I had to send, already running late. I thought, I'll call him back from the hotel tonight once I clear this deck. That minute never came. I landed, the meeting went sideways, and the voicemail just slid down my list of priorities until it was buried. That 7 seconds of casual conversation, it turned into the greatest regret of my life.
My life was a relentless pursuit of the next big thing. New clients, faster promotions, bigger bonuses. Every Thanksgiving, my father, Richard, would ask the same question. "How's the job, son?" I'd launch into a high-octane monologue about market shares and quarterly earnings. He'd just nod slowly. I kept telling myself I was doing it for them. I was building a future, a legacy. But in reality, being busy was a powerful, insidious lie I told myself to justify having my priorities dangerously skewed. I chose the constant validation of work over the quiet, unearned love of my family.
2 weeks later, I was still on the road. It was a Monday morning, a brutal gray sky hanging over a city I barely knew. My wife called. The line was crackly, but her voice was shattering. "Ethan, it's Dad. He collapsed this morning. It was sudden. We lost him." The word lost felt like a punch. Not passed away or gone, but simply lost, like I'd misplaced the most valuable thing I owned in the chaos of my own life. I flew home that night, the 7-second voicemail haunting the entire 12-hour flight. All the deals, all the work, all the money, it was all meaningless now. A few days after the funeral, my sister and I were in Richard's study, going through his desk. It was neat, sparse. The drawer next to his old armchair held only a stack of utility bills, a box of mints, and a worn, spiral-bound notepad, the kind he used for grocery lists. I picked it up. On the very first page, written in his familiar, slightly shaky handwriting, was a simple list under the title Ethan's Contact Numbers. There were 3 of them: my old landline, my work cell, and my current cell. Next to each number, there were countless tiny penciled check marks, faintly erased and then rewritten. It wasn't a list of contacts, it was a ledger of regret. That little notebook changed everything. I realized those weren't random marks. They were the countless times Richard tried to bridge the gap I had created. Each faint check mark was a moment he picked up the phone, hesitated, and put it back down, afraid to interrupt my important life. The heavily marked lines next to my work number showed the times he tried to reach me while I was busy in a meeting, too distracted to answer. The unspoken question hung heavy in the room. How many times did my father need me and decide I wasn't available? The work I had chased was loud, but my father's quiet need was deafening. We're all conditioned to chase success, to grind for that next milestone, but no one tells you the silent cost of that ambition. I gained the corner office, but I lost the daily conversations, the quiet check-ins that built a life. I keep the notebook now. It sits on my own desk, right next to my phone. It's a constant, painful reminder that the things we say we value, family, connection, love, often require us to pause our pursuit of the things we only think we need. The legacy I thought I was building for my father was worthless. His real legacy was just a question. Did you ever really stop and listen? This whole tragedy became my course correction. I still work hard, but the phone now has a different weight. When my wife calls, I pick up. When my kids send a random text, I respond immediately. I realized that the most important connections aren't the ones you schedule in a digital calendar, but the ones you prioritize every time the opportunity arises. The noise of the professional world is fleeting. The quiet voice of a loved one is what truly echoes forever. My father's silent check marks taught me that the opposite of love isn't hate, it's neglect. The slow, comfortable drift apart. I won't let that happen again.
That last voicemail, the one I deleted to free up space, is a constant whisper in the back of my mind now. It reminds me that life's most profound moments aren't scheduled. They happen in the 7 seconds you didn't think were important enough to answer. The 4 most common regrets people have before they die are about family, friends, health, and expressing themselves. Not about money, not about status. They're all about connection. So ask yourself today, is there a call you owe? A word you've left unsaid? Don't wait for a tragedy to become your alarm clock. Pick up the phone now. Because in the end, love isn't measured by how much you achieve, but by how present you were for the people who truly mattered.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of reflection. We hope these timeless lessons help guide your own path to peace and fulfillment. If these stories resonated with you, please hit that like button. Subscribe to Timeless Whispers for more wisdom tailored for your golden years. And ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next chapter. And tell us in the comments, what is the one thing you are most grateful for today? Until next time, take good care.